Yo, Jamie from Jamie's Detailing, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys my two-step process for cleaning absolutely wrecked wheels. Let's not waste any time, let's jump straight into it. First, let's talk about the actual chemicals that we're gonna be using in order to get our wheels clean and why these work in combination so well together in order to get your wheels clean. So first off, let's talk about acidic-based cleaners and alkaline-based cleaners. Now, acidic-based cleaners are gonna go after your inorganic, mineral-based contaminants. Your non-acid-based cleaners are gonna go after your oil-based organic materials. So between the two chemicals, our acid and our non-acid or our alkaline cleaner, we're gonna be able to do two different kinds of cleaning in order to get these wheels looking as brand new as possible. So for our acidic base cleaner for today, we're gonna be using Superior Products Wire Wheel Cleaner. This is an extremely low pH cleaner. It's an acid-based cleaner, and it can be somewhat hazardous to your guys' health and your guys' skin, all of that kind of stuff. So you guys need to make sure that you guys are using PPE when you guys are using something like an acid-based cleaner or an extremely high pH cleaner. So moving on to our high pH cleaner or our alkaline cleaner, we're gonna be using Dark Fury by Superior Products. Both of these products are extremely economical when it comes to your guys' wallet, and they're highly dilutable. For my acid-based cleaner, I use my acid at a 4:1 dilution ratio. Now, depending on what you guys are cleaning, if it's something like oxidization, you guys can use it at a 3:1 ratio. And if you guys, this doesn't have to do with this video, but if you guys wanted to remove water spots, you have water spots on your wheels or you have water spots on the actual paint of your car, you guys can use acid at an 8:1 ratio, and this will help get rid of water spots. But again, I use my acid at a 4:1 ratio, and this works really well for all the wheels and tires, or all the wheels that I've come across so far. For my Dark Fury, I mix this at the exact same ratio that I mix my my acid-based cleaner, and that's just due to Superior Products recommendations. I really have not played around with anything beyond a 4:1 ratio for Dark Fury because a 4:1 ratio works so dang good that I just haven't had a reason to try anything else. Both of these are really easy to remember because they are both at the exact same dilution ratio for wheels and tires at 4:1. Muscle Magic is going to be diluted for this video at a 5:1 dilution ratio in order to get our tires clean. So now that we actually talked about the chemicals that we're going to be using in order to get these wheels clean, let's actually talk about the process that I use in order to get these wheels looking brand new. So step number one, guys, you guys want to cool down the surface of your wheel as well as all the brake components and everything else behind the wheel. You guys don't just want to cool down the wheel surface itself, the barrel, the face and stuff. You guys also want to cool down any components that this acid could potentially be touching. When you guys are driving around, what actually heats up your wheel itself is when you guys are hitting the brakes. When you hit the brakes, it causes a ton of friction to actually slow down those rotors or slow down that disc. That's what heats up the wheel itself. It's not actually driving around on that tire. It's the brakes transferring the heat from the brakes to the actual wheel. That's what creates the heat. So you guys want to make sure that your brakes are cool to the touch as well as your wheel. If you're only cooling down the wheel, it has a chance of retransferring that heat before it kind of neutrals itself out. It has a chance of reintroducing that heat to the wheel. So make sure that everything's cooled to the touch, not just your wheel. Make sure that those brakes, especially if that car was just driven over to your shop, your detail shop, or you know the customer was just driving it, make sure that car, the brakes and the wheel are fully cooled down to the touch. So just a pro tip for you guys. your wheels get hot from your brakes. So make sure your brakes are cool as well as your wheels. Moving on from there, we are moving into our next step of the process for our acid step, and that is where we're gonna actually apply APCD to the tire itself. Now I apply APCD to the tire because I don't wanna actually spray a ton of acid on the tire, and I want that APCD to start dwelling and breaking down some of those contaminants on the tire itself. So once I apply my APCD, we can now apply our acid to our cool wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply acid liberally to the entire wheel surface, the barrel, the lug nut area, everywhere on these wheels. I'm gonna make sure is fully saturated with the acid. Once I have everything fully saturated, I can go ahead and let that wheel dwell for around 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Once everything has dwelled for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I'm typically letting it dwell for closer to 60 seconds to a minute and a half. That is pretty much as long as I let that acid dwell, and then I start rinsing it off. When I'm rinsing off all my acid, after I do my initial rinse with my pressure washer, I then come in and remove the tip of the pressure washer, the nozzle of the pressure washer, and flood all the lug nut areas as well as the inner barrel and the brakes of the wheel. This just ensures that all of that acid is fully rinsed off and all these areas have been completely flooded with water, and it makes sure that I'm not just hitting it real quick with the pressure washer and it didn't get fully rinsed off. So go ahead and flood out that wheel of the acid to make sure that there is no more acid on the surface of the wheel or in the inner barrel or on the brakes or anywhere else. Additionally, guys, you want to make sure that you rinse off all your acid, because if you do not rinse off all your acid before you apply your non-acid, all it's going to do is neutralize the effect of when you spray that non-acid on. The acid, being a very low pH, is going to neutralize that high pH cleaner when you combine them together. So there's no point in combining them together. You're not getting added cleaning power or anything like that. You need to use these chemicals separately in order to get the best clean possible. Now, once you guys get done with your acid step, your touchless acid step, now I like to move into my non-acid step. And the non-acid step is where I actually do all my agitation. Non-acid is a little bit safer for when it comes to your skin and, you know, your body and stuff like that. So I don't mind getting my hands in there and getting dirty with the non-acid versus the acid. So now we're gonna go ahead and apply that non-acid to our tires and to our wheel surface. While the non-acid is dwelling for around 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and use that time to go ahead and hit up my tires with my drill brush. Now, using a drill brush is gonna make this process way quicker when it comes to cleaning your tires, and I tend to get better results with a drill brush versus hand brushing everything. So I can get better results in less time with a drill brush. Once I'm done with my tire itself, now it's probably time that 30 seconds to 2 minutes is probably good right there. So we're gonna go ahead and move into actually cleaning our wheel. Now, cleaning our wheel, I like to start with the barrel, then I'll move into the face of the wheel, then I will actually clean the details. Now, if that product is sitting on the surface of the wheel for too long, so let's just say it's sitting there for over 2 minutes by the time I get done cleaning with my tire and I start the detailing process of my wheel, if that wheel is, I think that non-acid has been sitting on there for too long, I'll go ahead and rinse off all the non-acid from the wheels and the tire, and then I will reapply a little bit of non-acid to the actual face of the wheel to finish up my detailing process. So once we hit up the inner barrel of the wheel, we then hit up the face of the wheel, and then we get all the little details, the nooks, the crannies, the spokes and everything. Once we are done doing our agitation, we can then go ahead and do our final rinse off of this wheel. Now, once you guys do your rinse off, I like to dry my actual wheel and tire with a quick little blower. Now, I just use a blower that I already had that I was using at my office for my my other business, but you guys can actually go out and get a really inexpensive blower for around $100 that will really save you guys a ton of time from trying to dry out areas like the lug nuts, around the valve stem, all the little details and the lettering and the tires. This will really cut down on a lot of that time that you guys would typically be, you know, either letting that thing air dry, or you guys, you know, go to actually wax the wheel and it's still wet in the lug nuts or whatever. Anyways, once you guys get that thing rinsed and dried, you guys are done with the two-step process. However, I like to always take this one step further, and that's by applying some type of protection, whether that's a sealant, a wax, or a ceramic coating. So once that wheel is completely clean and ready to go, you guys should definitely think about adding some protection so that it is much cleaner or much easier to clean the next time around. Now guys, this is just how I go about cleaning extremely wrecked wheels and tires. Now you can use this exact same process without any agitation for wheels that are more maintained than this one. When wheels that are heavily contaminated, you're gonna need to do some agitation. There's really no way around it. But if the wheels have been maintained, the vehicle is cleaned on a regular basis, then you guys can actually use this low pH, high pH 1-2 punch in order to get wheels clean without any agitation whatsoever, and that is a touchless wheel cleaning. So anyways, what I really want to know from you guys is what method do you guys use to clean your wheels? Just because I clean my wheels and tires one way does not mean that there's not a better way out there, a more efficient way out there. And really, I just want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this cleaning process and what you guys do in order to clean your wheels. But anyways, that is all that I had for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below your guys' thoughts and opinions. Those are extremely valuable to me. I'm looking to grow through these videos, and I hope that you guys get something through these videos as well. But that is all that I had for today. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.